Good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching or viewing this, I'm thankful to have you back. So today we're over at Breitbart. As you can read, the headline says exclusive: Trump backs GOP's Bank Your Vote early mail-in voting initiative. So as you know, I've been following Trump and the GOP since about 2017, and we have fallen many election cycles. We have fallen down because of us not embracing mail-in voting because we have this tainted view on it. Well, today I'm going to dive into this article, show you a video, and show you where Trump is on this. If you get something out of this content, give it a thumbs up, like, give me a comment. It really helps blow this through the algorithm that YouTube tries to make sure it doesn't get to see me. But we're going to get started here. Former President Trump, the leading GOP candidate in 2024, is formally backing the Republican National Committee, Bank Your Vote, an initiative to push to get as many Republicans nationwide to vote early in 2024. Breitbart News has learned exclusively radical Democrats have abused and taken advantage of absentee and early voting laws to build a big lead over Republicans before Election Day. Trump says in a new video for RNC provided to Breitbart News exclusively, in quote, "While Republicans have worked to share our beautiful values with voters, Democrats and dangerous groups funded by the far left have simply focused on collecting ballots. That's all they wanted to do, collecting ballots. But you know what? It turned out to be not such a bad idea. This must change for us to win in 2024. We may not like the current system, but we need to master the rules and beat the Democrats at their own game. And then we can make our own rules. Republicans must get tougher and fight harder to cast our votes and get our ballots turned in earlier so Democrats can't rig the polls against us on Election Day. We cannot let that happen. They rigged the election in 2020, and we cannot let that happen in 2024. Trump continues in the video by specifically praising the RNC's new program. The RNC program encourages Republicans to engage in early voting, in-person, absentee, and mail voting, and ballot harvesting where legal. The fact that Trump is backing these efforts is a very big development for the party, especially given his history of ripping election issues. The RNC leading the fight to help secure your vote in 2024 as well, Trump says. They are fighting bad Democrat laws, putting folks on the ground to serve as poll workers and poll watchers. The RNC is leading the fight to help secure your vote in 2024 as well, Trump says. They're fighting bad Democrat laws, putting folks on the ground to serve as poll workers and poll watchers, and engaging attorneys to monitor every step of the process. Go to bankyourvote.com to sign up and commit to voting early. We must defeat the far left at their own game, or our country will never recover from this disastrous, crooked Biden administration. I think he's got a point there. I think the GOP is traditionally conservative in all of their ways, even adapting to innovation, getting used to technology, speaking to people. For example, Vivek Ramaswamy is the only one really going out there and reaching the LGBT vote, while others are at a conflict with religion and state issues. Like, they can't get with them because they serve a God, and God is helm of their GOP. That's the way they act, and they have got to get out of that thinking because these people are here and they're just as much human as you are. Everyone's included, and you need to just go ahead and make their vote count and persuade them. Here's the video. We're going to play the video for you.
For too long, radical Democrats have abused and taken advantage of absentee and early voting laws to build a big lead over Republicans before Election Day. While Republicans have worked to share our beautiful values with voters, Democrats and dangerous groups funded by the far left have simply focused on collecting ballots. That's all they wanted to do, collecting ballots. But you know what? It turned out to be not such a bad idea. This must change for us to win in 2024. We may not like the current system, but we need to master the rules and beat the Democrats at their own game, and then we can make our own rules. Republicans must get tougher and fight harder to cast our votes and get our ballots turned in earlier so Democrats can't rig the polls against us on Election Day. We cannot let that happen. They rigged the election in 2020. We cannot let that happen in 2024. The RNC is leading the fight to help secure your vote in 2024 as well. They're fighting bad Democrat laws, putting folks on the ground to serve as poll workers and poll watchers, and engaging attorneys to monitor every step of the voting process. Go to bankyourvote.com to sign up and commit to voting early. BankYourVote.com. We must defeat the far left at their own game, or our country will never recover from this disastrous, crooked Biden administration. Sign up at BankYourVote.com now and join the Republican effort to win big in 2024. We're going to win, and we're going to make America great again. Thank you very much.
So that was the video, as you all could see. We got some jargon down here we might need to get through, but I think it's really just reiterating what he said. But Trump's push for the Republican voters to embrace the rules of election as they are now, while pushing for changes later, echoes something he told Breitbart News late last year, right after he announced his 2024 candidacy. The best thing would be same-day voting, paper ballots, voter ID, etc. Trump said, "Come on, bro, we got a typo on Breitbart." Trump said in December 2022 in Miami in an interview with Breitbart News, the belief that changes are needed to the system. However, he said, until Republicans regain power and can change the voting laws, they have to fight like Democrats do under the current rules. And that's a point, man. Everyone's always like, everyone I know are like, oh yeah, but well, nothing ever changes when GOP gets put in. Yeah, that's true, because GOP, like since this 117th Congress has been put in the House of Representatives, all you're getting is mean tweets from them. The same thing they banned Trump from Twitter for. Mean tweets. You're getting long letters about how they're complaining about the system that they work for. And it's not doing any good. It's just adding to the heat. It's the frogs in a pot boiling over. The RNC announced the Bank Your Vote initiative back in early June with the chairwoman, Ronna McDonald, who is also a rhino. I need to reiterate that. Ronna McDonald is a rhino, but they have put their beefs to the side to scratch one another's back, if you will. So I think that's a good thing. She's showing her loyalty. And with the chairwoman, Ronna McDonald, and other top party leaders endorsing the effort. In quotes, they say, to beat Joe Biden and the Democrats in 24, we must ensure that Republicans bank as many pre-election day votes as possible. McDaniel said in a statement, the RNC is proud to build on our historic efforts from last cycle and work with the entire Republican ecosystem to reach every state. Banking votes early needs to be the focus of every single Republican campaign in the country, and the Republican National Committee will lead the charge. In conjunction with the RNC and the National Republican Congressional Committee and the National Republican Senatorial Committee have also joined to push to bank votes ahead of the election. NRCC Chair Rep. Richard Hudson appointed Trump backer Rep. Byron Donalds to lead the effort for the NRCC and NRSC Chair Senator Steve Daines, who also backs Trump, appointed fellow Trump backer Senator Bill Hagerty. I'm proud to co-chair the RNC's efforts to activate Republicans to bank your vote before Election Day, Donald said then. With innovation and technology to educate voters and safeguards in place to secure the process, Republicans are prepared to win up and down the ballot in 2024. To take back the White House and Senate and strengthen our House majority in 2024, Republicans must play the game by today's rules, which means maximizing our efforts to bank votes before Election Day. We cannot afford to sacrifice most of the opportunities to bank votes in key states while Democrats run up the score. And that's what happens. Encouraging Republicans to securely bank your vote is the only way to protect the vote and reclaim our out-of-control government. I'm pleased to work with the leaders across the Republican Party from the Senate to the House, our governors, and the RNC on this important effort to deliver victories nationwide next November. And that's really what it boils down to. How many people are you willing to talk to? They're already ramping up COVID policies and stuff to kind of fearmonger you into the House and not leave. Per the RNC, the comprehensive vote banking effort that Trump now formally supports will comprise multiple fronts, from digital and data to ground game to strategic messaging. The RNC's data team will work with its digital team to identify voters likely to vote early and use digital efforts to communicate with these voters. The party's field operations, which have led efforts to knock on hundreds of millions of doors in the past couple of election cycles, along with a nationwide group of volunteers, activists, and staff. The RNC's election integrity team has 80,000 members nationwide. Will, per the party, make direct contacts with these people to ensure as many votes as possible are banked early. I'd like to know what you guys think about the GOP and Trump, or Trump backing the GOP's Bank Your Vote early mail-in voting initiative. I think it's the GOP growing a spine finally. But we're gonna go to Bank Your Vote. I'm gonna leave the description in the I'm gonna leave the website in the description below so you can all check it out. Send it to your friends, and if you don't know what you're doing, so you just kind of come here. We'll read it. I'll walk you through everything. BankYourVote.com. This is Ronna McDonald, chairwoman. Again, she is a rhino, but what you got to understand here is a rhino is working with Trump. That's progress. It says, bank your vote and protect your vote. To beat Joe Biden and the Democrats in 2024, we must ensure that Republicans bank as many votes as possible before Election Day. Because of the efforts to protect your vote in 2022, grassroots Republicans like you should feel comfortable banking your vote in 2024. The Bank Your Vote initiative encourages GOP voters like you to get your vote in and make absolutely sure that your voice is heard in the critical 2024 elections. In all 56 states and territories, your Republican Party will be working hard to get our voters to vote by mail or early in person, and ballot harvest where permitted. We can't do it without you though, so share this site with family and friends to make sure they bank their vote too. And I'm sharing it with you guys on my YouTube channel. I'm going to post it on my X, my Truth Social, and my Facebook account. I'm also going to do it on Instagram, so if you are on any of them, make sure you follow me. Let's interact and follow one another. I will follow every one of you back that follows me. We are in this together. We're going to play this video and see what she has to say.
Hi, I'm Ronna McDaniel, chairwoman of the Republican National Committee. In 2022, we laid the groundwork for this critical election cycle by running the largest ever election integrity operation across the country. Over 80,000 Republicans served as poll watchers and poll workers. Our work to protect the vote will be supercharged in 2024 with an even larger team of grassroots leaders and more key lawsuits. The RNC is laser focused on beating Joe Biden and far left Democrats next November. And in addition to protecting the vote, we need you to bank your vote. To win close elections, we need to close the gap on pre-election day voting. That's why we're launching the Bank Your Vote initiative. Bank Your Vote encourages, educates, and activates Republican voters on when, where, and how to cast their ballot before Election Day. We made great strides in getting Republicans to cast their votes before Election Day in 2022, but now we must encourage more of our voters to request ballots or vote early in person. And we can't do that without you. Please spread the word about BankYourVote.com to your friends and family. Tell them to go to the site and find out when, where, and how to get their vote banked, and make 100% sure their voice is heard. Again, that is BankYourVote.com. If we don't vote early, we're giving the Democrats a head start. But when Republicans vote early, we win. And in 2024, we are going to hold the House, win back the Senate, and take the White House. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
So it sounds like the GOP has finally gotten smarter now. So that's a plus. But I want to know what you people think. I want you to let me know down in the comments. Do you plan to bank your vote? I know I do, because I'm voting for Donald Trump in 2024. Trump train, I'm riding it all the way to 2024, and I'm breaking this news for you here, so you ain't gotta go to CNN and be lied to, so you ain't gotta go to MSNBC, who's owned by BlackRock, so you ain't gotta go to these places. Come here, I will let you in. We will let this news marinate, and we will let it digest with breathing. Thank you. Have a good day. God bless.